completed his move to Bayern Munich. First things first, I had a lot of fights with what Michael Owen tweeted, Jamie Carragher tweeted, because I think they were being
selfish.
No. Almost ignorant, patronizing, condescending,
and entitled.
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought it was some of the things they said. I just didn't think it's kind of thing you should. What? No. You can't sit there and explain to us why you being the top scorer in the EPL is better than winning trophies, than moving to Bayern Munich. I mean, Bayern Munich is not Hoffenheim.
Yes.
It's not Freiburg. It's not Mainz.
Werder Bremen.
It's not Werder.
Yes.
It's Bayern Munich.
Yes.
Yeah.
Champions of Europe 6 times.
It's a club that has won more European titles than all the other teams in England by
England as
Liverpool
well.
put together.
Yeah.
Yes.
Why? I didn't like that tweet by Michael Owen at all. I didn't like that tweet by Jamie Redknapp at all. I was saying to someone that I saved it. He said, I know Bayern are a massive club and have huge respect for them, but if I was Hurricane, I'd stay put. There's no great achievement in winning a trophy with them. Real Madrid, I would understand. One or two top Premier League clubs for that matter. Becoming an all-time Premier League goal scorer and at Spurs is a bigger achievement than winning the league in a country dominated by one team. Complete balderdash.
Yeah.
First of all,
Especially coming from a man who has a history of moving from teams, from Liverpool, went to Newcastle, and then United, all teams, staying put.
for the last 6 years, City has been dominating. Now to Onge.
That's the point. That for me is the point.
Yeah.
City have won 5 of the last 6 in the EPL. This argument that the EPL is... no! Pep has bossed it.
Yeah.
Pep has dominated it. In fact, if you think about leagues that... Of course, yes, Bayern have won their league 10 times in a row. But this is 5 in 6 and 10 in 10. It's not much difference.
Yeah.
I just thought their tweets were patronizing and condescending to Bundesliga. And to Bayern Munich, a team that has won the Champions League only, 3 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
20. Yes.
Yeah, 3 years ago.
And also, I would believe that winning a Bundesliga isn't just the thing that Harry Kane wants to go and win. The plan could be the Champions League. Yes.
Yeah, he has an opportunity to win the Champions League. Personally, I was on the bandwagon. I really wanted him to move. I thought he trophies are important for any athlete. The currency of any sport is trophies. So for Harry Kane to be in a team that at the moment looks like it's on transition, it could also take more time even for them to get any titles. So he had an opportunity to go to a team that is currently in the Champions League, that is the Bundesliga. They are the current winners of the Bundesliga. That is titles. It doesn't matter. Goals are... I think he's 59 goals short of the Alan Shearer record as well. That's okay. If Haaland stays long enough, he might even go with that as well. So I think it was a good opportunity for him, new challenges, and somewhere else to start over and get something for himself.
The guy is in his prime. He has the chance to play against some of the best players in the world, play in the highest platform ever, the Champions League.
Yeah.
Have an opportunity to change his story.
Having said that, Bayern were terrible last night.
Yeah, they were.
Yo.
Terrible.
Yo.
Yes, and actually drawing from the comments, because I think that would be a good place to start with what Thomas Tuchel said. First of all, he offered an apology to Harry Kane because he said that, Harry Kane might think that these guys have not attended pre-season at all. I think that was a proper description of who Bayern Munich were yesterday. I know there are some questions in regards to some selections that he made in the game. But even looking at the nature of the goals that they conceded yesterday, they just didn't look right. Especially for a Manchester United team that is looking for Benjamin Pavard. I didn't like how Dani Olmo just got ahead of them and scored that goal. So
the keeper was bad in that.
Yes, Ulreich.
Yes,
Ulreich.
The pirouette by Olmo. Keeper's mistake. Where was he going?
But even the defense, they
that
should have
backline
played.
was...
Let's assume you've been done by the pirouette, like the turn.
Yeah.
Where was the keeper going?
Yeah. Yeah, and understandably, because they're missing Manuel Neuer. But it wasn't a really good game. And in such environments that Harry Kane is getting himself into, it's going to be loud a bit for him. So he needs to adjust to the new environment. people are definitely going to be looking at his performances. I know he came in as a substitute, but already there are talks that, okay, he had only 4 touches for the goal. But,
but the whole team was bad.
Yes.
Yeah.
You see, again, this modern day generation, if you guys judge everything on 2 minutes, okay? You got to give it. Here's the one thing. Harry Kane will be a bigger success. We had this conversation a year ago. Harry Kane... Sadio Mane.
Yes.
We weren't sure Sadio Mane was the guy.
Yeah.
We are almost certain Harry Kane will be the guy. Because Harry Kane will score goals.
Yeah.
Bayern just need a 9.
Yes.
They need to stop these small forward things of Gnabry and Sane
Coman.
and Musiala and Coman. They need a 9. They need a focal point.
Yes.
Yeah.
He has the focal point. The question is whether Thomas Tuchel can put together a team or whether his abrasiveness will be quicker than the team. Like him doing a team and making sure the team can challenge for Champions League. Whether that will be, the way at Chelsea, by the time that was showing up, he'd already won the Champions League.
Oh, yes.
So maybe that's the question. But I think Harry Kane will be a success. And from a marketing point of view, it's an excellent thing from Bayern Munich. I mean, Bayern Munich were #1 story on Sky this morning. The first 5 minutes were all about Harry Kane. And the dressing room and the what, and this is the room for you, and this is the... I mean, that's and also like the way the English carry their captain, because they're like, England captain. That story, everywhere, it starts with England captain. England captain Harry Kane.
And now you can
England
imagine the
captain
newspapers now.
I love it. I love that side of it. You saw kids with his jersey. If you saw the story on Sky at 10. Fans who are full with jersey 9 Harry Kane already.
Yes.
It's perfect for them. Whichever side you look at it, I think it's a perfect thing. Look, this Premier League, we talk like football was invented in 1992. You know there was football before 92.
Yeah,
like before the Premier League there was football. So go get a trophy or 2, with some luck get the Champions League, and then come back home. You've made your money and you're okay. Speaking of breaking news, Fabrizio Romano tweeted 11 minutes ago, Kylian Mbappe has been reintegrated into the PSG first squad. Following very constructive, positive talks between PSG and Kylian Mbappe before the game versus Lorient, the player has been reinstated into the first team training squad this morning. And the guy who's tweeted that for us, he said, Kylian Mbappe 1, PSG 0.
Very nice.
I think it's full time.
Any full time. I agree. It's full time.
Only full time.
Yes.
Here you can't.
Full time.
Even added time imeisha. That added time of 8 minutes imeisha.
Yeah, PSG just shorted themselves kwa mguu. Now he'll be back in the team. They'll have to mwacha him for free at the end of the season.
I told you, Mbappe had them by the proverbial cojones.
Yes.
And it's a brilliant thing. I love his mother for it. It's brilliant. Why did PSG agree to such a deal?
Yeah. He had all the leverage to play his cards.
Yes, it's brilliant. Now they have given in.
Yeah. I would like to know which kind of conversations they've had and what they have agreed on. But I would believe this is something that has been spurred on by Luis Enrique.
And I think it's bigger than him.
He wouldn't have a say, like, I want Kylian Mbappe into the team.
Because
Mbappe doesn't care. It's PSG to think.
What can
you really afford to keep him on the bench for a year? No. Can you really afford to not have him play at all? Can you really afford? What if he played well enough and he got to the final of the Champions League this year? And especially because Neymar is on his way to Al Ahly or Chelsea, depending on who Al Hilal or Chelsea, depending on who you believe.
Yes. Okay, Chelsea doesn't make sense really.
Well, Chelsea
are weird.
How much of the things are happening at Chelsea
are very
weird. Oh yeah.
Nowadays we are accustomed to whatever Chelsea does.
So with Neymar leaving, Messi's left. You as PSG, you must ask yourself, who will put bums on seats, like Samuel L. Jackson says?
Oh yes.
And put bums on seats. Who will put bums on seats?
Yeah, it's Kylian. It's got to be Kylian.
So maybe.
Yeah, and yes. It somehow gets into what they have been doing lately, because Marco Verratti has been a guy who's been really mentioned to be leaving the club, but PSG have somehow just maintained him at the club. And also they brought in Gonzalo Ramos as a striker. So maybe there's a project being done there by Luis Enrique that probably could
Asensio,
try and do something in
Dembele.
This year before he leaves.
There's Asensio, there's Dembele, there's...
Oh, yes, even Dembele.
There's a project.
Dembele completed the move yesterday.
Yes, yesterday. So, yes, full-time Kylian Mbappe has won. And I was thinking, because this is a conversation I had with only the pushback that I had was Kylian Mbappe can't afford to sit knowing that he's going to be the star boy of the Paris Olympics. But yeah, he gets his opportunity. Let him play. I know it's a gamble.
Star boy.
It's a gamble. It's a gamble on him. Like, okay, he's going to play. What if he gets injured? Does that impact whether he leaves to Real Madrid next summer?
Yeah, if you get injured, then you stay without a club. I remember there was a player from Netherlands who got injured like that. And then now you have to wait until because you have no contract.
Yes.
Yeah. But this is Mbappe. Mbappe will be okay.
He'll be okay.
Mbappe will be okay. Anyway, Park is saying this affair will be decided to do on the pitch. That's Chelsea with Casado. Then Elisha is like, Cristiano cannot win the World Cup. They decided to create a new World Cup for him with a picture of Cristiano. Then Augustine says, Jolinton is the real deal. Last season he was undroppable. The guy has energy, just does the job. Every team needs a Jolinton. Better than Havertz. Newcastle has depth. Let's see how they fare when the Champions League start. And then Kadmas is saying English pundits will always be biased. Michael Owen is a coward. Where? Okay, Havertz. And then Rabenu says, Leo someone nimekuwa refu but straight from church and tuned in. Football fix. Watu wachana na Ken, let him go with Bayern, whether Bayern dominate 6 or 10. Who cares when one is winning trophies? Blah blah blah. I agree with you, Wokabi. Thank you so much. Then Social is asking, is Bayern in decline or are the other teams stepping up? I think last season they were just in bad transition. And then I think they made the wrong move by kicking out Nagelsmann before the end of the season. And Tuchel has to build a team. That's just it.
Yeah. Or even with the guys that he still has, because you can hear the mamas around. Kimmich is not happy with where he's playing. I don't know. Thomas Tuchel is talking about him not being a proper 6. So there are some squabbles in between. Yeah, the experienced guys. Even we saw it with Sadio Mane and Sane last season.
There's a reason Bayern Munich's nickname is FC Hollywood.
Oh yes.
It's always been
like they've got to make the noise.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bayern has always had drama around it. It's the reason. It's the team that's why FC Hollywood. Anyway, Arsenal might be thinking about using Kai as a false 9 when he's a false footballer after. Chelsea will demolish.
Oh wow. Okay.
Tuchel is a defensive-minded coach. The attack of Leipzig was exciting, but Bayern will come good. That's Kings 254. And then let's just hope Batata doesn't do these experiments in big games, guys. Pep experimental bag has caught to him early, but in Mikel we trust. Yes. Newcastle got too much money for Dan Burn to be still starting at left back. But Alex, I thought Dan Burn is very, very decent.
He's kind of solid. He's
decent. He's very, very solid. He's not spectacular, but he is decent, I think. That's what I would say. And then
he was in the running to get to the World Cup team last time with England, so it's kind of good.
Yeah, so yeah, the conversation keeps on going. Guys, let's come back and talk about United and their clear out sale, and then Casado. Or do we start with Casado, then we go to United, because United game is tomorrow. Someone is saying, I hope you're not in for a dull draw. Also, James, sounds like Sammy's thoughts on that eco effect going on. Hapo umenipoteza, Rico. I don't know what you mean. I know I sound like I'm in a drum, but it's a mic thing. Subira says, Ken will thrive, but Bayern's mid is void. Only Kimmich is clutch. That's why they will suffer the most. None of the strikers, someone's talking about the strikers who will be top scorer in the league. We'll touch on that. James, will Dembele help PSG with his injuries? I think Dembele is good. He just has to keep him fit.
Yeah.
To keep him fit, you must make sure he does not play
PlayStation at night. Oh, yeah. He needs his sleep.
Yeah. Sorry, I'd like to give Mikel time. We saw it's a risky signing, but Klein has a plan for him. This story does not go away. And then Ghana says, Michael Owen is one of the annoying pundits at Sky. He once said that DVD is the best defender of all time. Yes, the most sacrilegious thing Michael Owen has ever said.
Atrocious.
He's never seen a better defender. And I was like, you crazy. Joe is asking about our top 4 predictions. We are doing that in just a bit.